Wednesday morning, about 7:30 a.m. We're back on the trail, be it as I may, and we're riding 62 miles today to Lock 21. We're gonna camp tonight. We had a really good stay at the Round Inn. Couldn't have been better. Slept like a baby. Video on this. This is kind of the first real lock we could see on the old canal. I can't stay long though, there's so many mosquitoes. They've been cleaning it out, looks like. Good for them.
In the Spanish-American War.
Look at this little town. Oh, there's some more murals. Those are cool, but they've turned the old canal into a garden. How about that? That's pretty special. And here we got where the canal used to run over top of a creek. Really did her up right here. The only thing that was missing was the restaurant. Other than that, it's a perfect town. We ate a waffle in the hotel. Mike ate a waffle, I ate half one. This is the old canal, but they really got it maintained through here. We're on an aqueduct for the old canal, which is what we're following right now. They just had it cleaned out really nice. In fact, they had tours you could ride on a pontoon boat. Anyway, it goes right over top of here. There's the river down there that it goes over top of, and down there. Pretty cool. Learned it from the Romans, I think. Here we are. Here's our bikes. This is the New York State Fairgrounds, believe it or not, these buildings. The bathrooms over. We actually used the bathroom. I haven't seen a real bathroom in a long time. Yeah, that's one of their little fair buildings. Look at this sucker. I just told Mike it's a lot like Elgin Fairgrounds, Hudsonville Fairgrounds. Look at that stuff. The fair. The Great New York State Fair. They have spent some money over the years, man. All these brick buildings. It's quite amazing. Look at the dairy cattle building. That's right straight ahead. Where are we going, Michael? It's our rest stop. I think in Syracuse. Are we in Syracuse yet?
Yep.
It's either the old canal down there, kind of looks like it, because it's got the tow pass on the side. Flowing there, man. We're staying tonight, Lock 21. We're gonna camp over here on this side. These guys coming into the lock, these will probably be it, because they close at 6. So there's 2 boats coming in, and then they go way down there. They drop quite a ways, man. I don't know if we can do that visually. Way up there. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday we rode 20 miles on 4-lane roads with cars flying by, and this morning we rode on the single-track dirt trail alongside of the old canal, full of stagnant water. We had a pretty cheap day. We had breakfast at the hotel, snacks out of our packs, lunch at Applebee's, and supper out of our bags, then a free night camping at the locks. I told Mike I would buy lunch if he would buy ice cream later. The ice cream was delicious. It was Hershey's ice cream, and of course I got chocolate. This next section is the part of the trail that goes through the New York State Fairground. They were incredible. The parking lot itself was incredible. The buildings were amazing. Just past that, you can see we make a climb up a hill and then a sharp right. And we had just talked to somebody at the fairground that had missed that right. And they had gone before they figured out they were going the wrong way. At this point, we're coming into Syracuse. Remember a few days ago, I said the trail through Rochester was really well done, quiet and wooded. The trail through Syracuse was totally different. It started out well enough, but ended up going for miles down the middle of busy streets with stops at every crossroads. With waiting for traffic and crossing lights, it took a lot longer than we expected. I was sure glad to be done with Syracuse and back on the trail. About 4 miles from the lock where we were planning on camping, another bike packer rode up, and as we rode, we got to talking. His name was Dave. He was nearing the end of his bike trip across the United States. He had started in Portland, Oregon, and was going to finish in Portland, Maine. He had been riding around 100 miles per day, so even though he was going to the same campsite, I figured we would never see him again. But we ended up riding around each other for the next several days. This was our little detour and a stop to get ice cream. It was really good, especially on this day. The lock was a great place to camp. I called the lock master to tell him we were coming. He said we had to get there by 6 in order to get drinking water because that's when he closed up the locks. The sites were first come, first served. They had picnic tables, nice level sites, and even had bike racks. There ended up being Mike and I, Dave, another couple who were doing sections of the Erie Canal Trail, a hiker doing the North Country Trail, a couple of van life people who camped in the parking lot, and a cabin cruiser tied up by the lock, waiting to go through the lock in the morning. The North Country Trail stretches from Vermont to North Dakota. We have hiked on it around Yankee Springs and ridden on it on the Paul Henry Trail, the White Pine Trail, and now again on the Erie Canal Trail. All in all, it was a good day. We rode on almost every kind of surface, met some interesting people, and had an interesting and quiet place to spend the night.